Hi, everybody. I wanted to share my fan fiction chapter again because it has been updated since the last time I shared a video. And also, my last video was not very good because my camera was off center. So now I think you should be able to see me. Whoa. Okay. There we go. Okay, so I'm actually sharing two fan fiction chapters today. The first one is from my Matthew Perry Memorial fan fiction, Uncle Chandler, I Love You. And the second one is from my fan fiction, The One with Ben's Wedding, which is set in the canon of the series when Ben is married to his husband and adopting twins from Erica's niece. So devastation. In the 19 years since Rachel left to go to Paris and her friends went their separate ways, I have kept in touch with most of them sporadically. Rachel and Uncle Chandler and Auntie Monica have kept in touch with me the most. Emma is now 21 and Jack and Erica are 19. I can't believe how fast they have grown up. Emma is a junior at Marymount, Manhattan, where she is studying fashion design. Jack and Erica are 19. Jack went to Johnson & Wales University to study culinary arts, and Erica is at Boston at BU to study journalism and international affairs. She is transferring to Ohio State next semester so she can bond more with her birth mother, Erica. I am really going to miss her when she moves. I recently visited Emma at college and loved hanging out with her. Central Perk has been closed for a while, and a new coffee shop has opened in its place. We had a great time. This past Saturday night, my phone buzzes 7:30. When I opened my phone and saw the text message from Rachel, my heart fell to the pit of my stomach. Uncle Chandler died. My fingers started to shake as I entered her speed dial code and called her right away. What happened? I whispered. He went to take a bath and did not wake up. Do we know a cause of death? It's suspected that he had a heart attack, but we won't know for sure until the coroner's report and toxicology reports comes back. I didn't even get to say goodbye. Rachel took a deep breath. I know, baby girl, neither did I. I am really going to miss him so much, Rachel. He loved you to pieces, sweetheart. His heart may have given out, but you always had a piece of it. I hung up the phone, threw myself down on my bed, and stared up the ceiling. My hand immediately flew to my neck, where the bat signal necklace hung. The breeze through the window blew across my neck and flew up to my ear, gently tickling it. Hi, honey, it's me. Tears gathered at the corners of my eyes. Hi, Uncle Chandler, I whispered. Don't cry, Angel. Remember what I said at the wedding? I nodded slowly. You said that as long as I wear this necklace, you'd always be here for me. I meant what I said. I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone, okay? Why'd you have to go, Uncle Chandler? There was a brief pause. The coroner's office and toxicologists don't know yet, but I do. My heartbeat quickened. You do? Another pause. The drugs and alcohol did me in. My heart gave out. It was time to go. Oh, Uncle Chandler, you died alone just like you predicted that day when we were cleaning out Mr. Heckles' apartment. There was another pause. I know, Angel. I wanted to let you know that I was not in any pain. You weren't? No, I wasn't. I was actually really happy. Really? Yes, really. I had great friends. And I had you, my baby angel, my best friend. Fresh tears gathered at the edges of my eyes. You're my best friend too, Uncle Chandler. You were always my sunshine girl, baby angel. Thank you for brightening all my days. I dabbed at my eyes. You're welcome, Uncle Chandler. Why did you call me baby angel? Because you were my earth angel and your positive attitude kept me going. There was another 10-minute pause. Honey, can you promise me something? I sat up and grabbed another wad of tissues from a box on my bedside table. Yes, I can, Uncle Chandler. I want you, Auntie Monica, Jack, and Erica to take care of each other, okay? The four of you are the loves of my life. I nodded and dabbed at my eyes. I promise, Uncle Chandler, I love you. I love you always, sunshine girl. A week later, I was on a train to Manhattan because I was going to Uncle Chandler's funeral and staying with Emma at her apartment in Greenwich Village. She met me at the Grand Central Station. How are you doing? She whispered as she put her arm around me. I kissed my cousin's forehead gently. As good as I can, honey. How are you? All right. I was just as close to Uncle Chandler as you were, so it has been really hard for me. I rubbed her back gently. I know, Em. Do you want to know something? What? The night that he died, his spirit spoke to me through my bat signal necklace. Emma's eyes grew wide. Really? What did Uncle Chandler say? I squeezed her hand gently. One thing he told me was that he was happy when he died and not in pain. He also told me not to be sad. I bet he'd probably tell you not to be sad, too. Emma dabbed at her eyes with a tissue. I needed to hear that. Thanks, Janine. I kissed her forehead. You're welcome, sweetheart. I love you, Emma. I love you, too, Emma whispered. Tomorrow morning, Auntie when is the funeral? Tomorrow morning. Auntie Monica texted me, and she's picking us up around 4, and we are staying at her house. I nodded, okay. Auntie Monica's minivan pulled up in front of Emma's apartment at 4:15 p.m. Hello, my darlings. Hey, Auntie Monica, what time is the funeral tomorrow? Emma asked. 10 a.m. Emma and I nodded. Okay. When we got to the house, I went to my room immediately to unpack my suitcase. Auntie Monica stood in my doorway. Can we talk, honey? She whispered. I nodded. Auntie Monica sat down on my bed and patted the bedspread. Auntie Monica's right here, Angel. I sat down next to her, and she wrapped me in a hug. I wanted to tell you about a conversation that Uncle Chandler and I had before he died. My eyes grew wide. What did he say? He said his biggest regret was kissing you at our wedding and how it destroyed his relationship with both of us. I exhaled. That's good to know. I always felt guilty over the years about ruining your marriage. Auntie Monica rubbed my back. I know, baby girl. He loved the two of us so deeply and hated hurting both of us. He told me to tell you that he wants you to stop feeling guilty, and I want the same for you. Nothing about that situation was ever your fault. I kissed her cheek softly. I love you, Auntie Monica. I love you too, sweetheart. I always will be here for you no matter what, okay? I nodded. Auntie Monica. Uncle Chandler's spirit talked to me through my necklace the night that he died. Auntie Monica smiled. His spirit talked to me too, honey. I am willing to bet he said the same thing to both of us. About you, me, Jack, and Erica taking care of each other. Tears filled Auntie Monica's eyes. Yes, baby angel. He wants us all to be together. Do you want to move in with us? My eyes met hers. Absolutely. After traveling back and forth to visit you guys for so many years, I think it is time for a change. Auntie Monica kissed my forehead. I will talk to your parents about you moving in with us within the next month. Jack and Erica are really excited for you to live with us, and I think Emma is excited about you being closer to her, too. I snuggled deeper into her embrace. I am so excited, Auntie Monica, I whispered. Auntie Monica rubbed my back. So are we. At the funeral, I sat between Uncle Ross and Rachel. Rachel squeezed my hand. Uncle Chandler's right here with you today, honey, she whispered. I leaned my head on her shoulder and did not reply. Rachel kissed my forehead gently. Uncle Ross and I love you very much, Janine. I love you too. I am moving in with Auntie Monica soon and can't wait to be closer to you all. Rachel rubbed my back. I know. She told me yesterday before you got here. We couldn't be happier. You have felt like a member of our family for years, and now you can finally bond and get to know you better. At the gravesite, I stood between Erica and Emma. Erica squeezed my hand tightly. I kissed my goddaughter's forehead gently. Erica, how are you doing? She dabbed at her eyes with the tissue. Nothing is going to be the same without him. I know, baby girl. There were 10 minutes of silence. Do you want to know something, honey? Erica nodded. His spirit talked to me the night that he died. Erica's eyes grew wide. What did Daddy tell you? He told me that he was happy and grateful. He told me that he was happy, grateful for his family and friends, and not in any pain. Erica dabbed at her eyes with a tissue. Did you know his spirit talked to Mom, too? I nodded. Yes, I did. He wants the four of us to look up for each other. We were the loves of his life. Mom said you are moving in with us soon. I'm so excited. I kissed her forehead again. So am I, baby girl. You, Emma, and I will go on so many fun adventures together, and I can't wait. Your dad doesn't want us to be sad, okay? Okay, I love you, Janine. I love you too, Erica. 3 weeks later, I was helping Auntie Monica decorate the living room for Christmas. I grew wistful all of a sudden. Auntie Monica looked at me. What are you thinking about, honey? I smiled at her, just remembering that fun day we had at the Central Park Apartments when you taught me the dance that you did on TV with Uncle Ross. Auntie Monica had a wistful look in her eyes, too. I was just remembering when Uncle Ross dressed up as a holiday armadillo and Uncle Chandler saying the earth would implode if the holiday armadillo and Santa stayed in the same room for too long. We had some fun times in the apartments above Central Park, didn't we, Auntie Monica? Auntie Monica smiled through the tears that were starting to fall down her cheeks. The hardest thing for me was that after Emma was born, Carol and Susan got full custody of Ben because they thought Uncle Ross was an unfit parent. I nodded. They took him to go to boarding school in London, right? Auntie Monica nodded. Yes, they did. Luckily, Rachel was able to reconnect with Carol and Susan and Ben when they moved to Paris, and he was still able to have a relationship with Emma. Did Ben ever end up moving back to America? Auntie Monica shook her head. Nope. That's why he wasn't at Uncle Chandler's funeral. He always stayed in touch with us, though. We got a nice bouquet of flowers from him and his family. How many kids does he have? Twins. A boy and a girl. The boy is named after Uncle Chandler, and the girl's name is Allison. Will I ever get to meet them? Auntie Monica smiled. Carol, Susan, Ben, Trevor, and the kids are coming to visit us next month. I can't wait to see them again. The phone interrupted our conversation. Mom, is the toxicologist with the results of Dad's autopsy? Jack called from the kitchen. The phone call lasted 10 minutes. When Auntie Monica re-entered the living room, she was dabbing at her eyes with a fresh wad of tissues. She collapsed onto the couch and patted the cushion next to her. Come and sit down, honey, she whispered. What did the toxicologist say, Auntie Monica? He overdosed on ketamine, she whispered. I am so confused. I thought he was doing infusion therapy to help with his anxiety and depression. Auntie Monica nodded. His last infusion therapy appointment was 10 days before he died. I am pretty sure he had an extra pills in the medicine cabinet that he must have taken, and then he got into the bathtub and drowned. His spirit told me he was happy the night that he died. Auntie Monica pulled me close. He was hiding his sadness for a long time, honey. I think that deep down inside, all of us knew that. Tears were flowing down my cheeks. He died alone, Auntie Monica, just like he predicted the day that we were cleaning out Mr. Heckles' apartment. Shock filled Auntie Monica's eyes. That's news to me. I sighed. I was with him when he had his anxiety attack, Auntie Monica. He told me he was scared about ending up like Mr. Heckles. And just as I said, he ended up being right. Auntie Monica kissed my forehead. He told me before he died that he was really grateful for all of those conversations the two of you had when you were snuggled in your bed together in apartment 20. I looked at her. Really? Fresh tears gathered at the end of Auntie Monica's eyes. I remember when we were first started dating, and his eyes lit up whenever he talked about you. That is when I knew that you were such a special little girl. You were his whole world, my precious girl, and I could not be more grateful that he brought you into mine. I nestled my head into her chest. I love you, Auntie Monica. Auntie Monica rubbed my back and pulled a blanket over us. I love you too, sweetheart. Let's take a nap, okay? We can get back to decorating later. I nodded. Okay. I shut my eyes, finding comfort in her embrace. A breeze blew through the open living room window, flew around my neck, and tickled my ear. I loved my two beautiful girls so much, and I am so happy you can be together. Look out for Auntie Monica as Erica prepares to move to Ohio, okay, baby angel? I smiled. You got it, Uncle Chandler. We love you too. So while I switched screens, I just wanted to explain the idea between the self-insert fanfiction. So basically what this fanfiction does is I created my own original character that is essentially me, and I basically inserted my character into certain episodes of Friends. My self-insert character in this story was Rachel's cousin from New Hampshire or New England, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Maine, who visits Rachel and her friends above the Central Park apartments on weekends and holidays throughout all of the episodes of season 2 to 10 of Friends. So, for context, during seasons 2 to 10 of Friends, I was between the ages of 10 and 18. And then the epilogue chapter where she finds out about Chandler's death is obviously present day, which brings me to today, where I am in my mid-30s. So this next fan fiction chapter is set in present day and is chapter 2 of my fan fiction, the one with Ben's wedding. And it is a diary entry from Monica's perspective about going to Ohio to adopt Ben and Trevor's twins. In the first chapter of the story, Ben and Trevor get married. Now, for context, let's push it back. I have been writing Friends fan fiction since March of 2023, and one of my first 2 stories was called You're on Your Own, and it was my first in a series of fan fictions that are set more in the present day of Friends, a couple of years after the finale. So in this in the original story where Ben comes out as gay, the chapter is called the story is called The Westchester Files. The chapter is called The Bombshell Announcement. At family therapy, Ben and Carol tell Rachel, Emma, and Monica that Ben is gay and that he's afraid to tell Ross about his sexuality because of his predisposed homophobia in the episode. The one with the metaphorical tunnel where Ross doesn't let Ben play with a Barbie. Basically, that whole incident was very scarring to Ben because it made him realize that his dad was homophobic and he's afraid to come out as gay to his father. What ends up happening, if you guys don't feel like going back and reading my other fan fictions, because I'm not going to force you to read them if you don't want to, basically Chandler and Monica end up adopting Ben because they find out that Ross is really unfit to be a parent. And Ross even admits that there's been too much damage done in his relationship to Ben because of the whole incident with him trying to instill heteronormative stereotypes into him as a young child when he should have been able to be free to express himself. So, long story short, Monica and Chandler end up adopting Ben. Ben meets a boy named Trevor. They start dating when Ben is like a freshman or sophomore in high school. They end up getting married, and that brings us to this story where after their wedding, they go to Ohio to adopt twins from the niece of the birth mother of Jack and Erica, who are now 19 years old. So this fan fiction is a diary entry from Monica's point of view about going to Ohio to adopt Ben and Trevor's twins and also dealing with Chandler passing away from a heart attack. November 20th, 2022. This Thanksgiving, my heart is full of gratitude, but for a mixed bag of reasons. My husband had been sober for 2 years, which was a great accomplishment because he has struggled with this for a long time. Prior to our trip to Ohio to adopt the babies, he had his last infusion for ketamine for his anxiety and depression. That's why what happened after dinner tonight was so shocking. At the hospital, Astrid looked at us and asked us if we wanted to name either of the babies after us. My husband looked at me. If it's okay, honey, can we name the boy Chandler? I smiled. Of course, Chandler Benjamin is the perfect name for my breath caught in my throat. Grant, not even being able to believe what I was going to say. Grandson. The girl's name ended up being Allison Jane. Little did I know the reason why the name Chandler would be so perfect for that baby. Thanksgiving dinner was lovely. For once, it felt nice not to be the hostess. Erica is a wonderful cook. As dinner was ending, I noticed my husband looking uncomfortable. Honey, are you okay? Chandler shook his head. He gasped for air. No, call an ambulance. My daughter's eyes grew worried. Daddy, are you sick? Chandler shut his eyes and nodded. I am having a really bad pain in my chest. Sweetheart, I think it is a heart attack. I should go to the hospital to get checked out. Erica was already on the phone. They should be here any minute, Monica. Ben looked worried. Shouldn't somebody stay here and help Erica clean up dinner plates? Jack nodded. Trevor and I will stay here and take care of everything. Please call us as soon as we get to the hospital. I was in shock. Of course. Come on, Erica, come on. You and Ben can follow me in the car. My daughter and nephew followed me out the door. I climbed into the back of the ambulance, holding my husband's hand. Everything will be fine, honey. Chandler's eyes met mine sadly. The pain is getting worse, Mom. It hurts so bad. Shh, my darling. Everything is fine. I'm right here, sweetheart. I stroked his sweaty hair back from his forehead and kissed it softly. I started to sing softly to him. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. Monica, look at me, my husband whispered. Tears were flowing down my husband's cheeks as my eyes connected with his. Chandler, are you going to be all right? My own heartbeat quickened as my palms began to sweat. Baby girl, we've had 22 amazing years together, and I am so grateful for all of them. So am I whispered. I couldn't be prouder of Ben and Trevor for adopting our beautiful grandchildren. It's just a shame I won't be able to see them grow up the same way that you will. My jaw dropped in shock. Honey, what are you talking about? We're going to be at the hospital soon. They're going to figure out what's wrong, won't they? Blame it on the past demons, honey. I know what's going on here. Dear, tears started to gather at the edges of my eyes. Are you trying to tell me something that I don't know? I whispered. Tell the kids and our grandkids that I love them, Monica. Chandler exhaled. Honey, I don't think I'm going to survive this heart attack. You will be taking me back to Westchester in a body bag. You have to be kidding. His sad eyes met mine one last time. I couldn't be any more serious. I chose that name for that baby today so I can live on in him. I could not pick my jaw off of the ground. Oh my God. Our vows said till death do us part. I just did not think it would be this soon. My tears started to flow down my cheeks. I know, baby, neither did I whispered. Goodbye, Monica. I love you. I love you too, Chandler. I kissed his lips gently. When we arrived at the hospital, my husband was pronounced dead. Ben and Erica got out of the car a few minutes later after the ambulance pulled in. I pulled my daughter and nephew close to me, did not want to let them go. He's gone, I whispered. We stood there in the parking lot of the hospital and wept. Do you want me to call Trevor, Auntie Monica? Ben whispered. I nodded. Yes, I do. Then call your aunts and uncles back in New York and tell them we need to start planning Uncle Chandler's funeral. Hey, Mommy. Does that include Uncle Ross, or should we not call him because of the falling out with the child custody agreement with Emma? I paused for a minute. Ben, honey, is that okay with you? Ben shrugged and sighed. When I call Rachel, I will ask her what we should do about the child custody restrictions for Emma, Auntie Monica. I may still have resentment toward Ross, but I'm willing to put that aside out of respect for Uncle Chandler. I kissed his forehead gently. Thank you, sweetheart. I love you. I love you too, Auntie Monica. And no one told me life was going to be this way, that I would end up living the rest of it without my soulmate, my Prince Charming, my beloved Chandler Bing. I love you. I'm going to pause for a minute and explain a little bit of backstory that I didn't mention when I was originally prefacing a story. So in the story that's before this, the one with Emma's coming out, Emma comes out as bisexual on the Paris vacation, and they go to family therapy because Emma is afraid to come out to Ross about her sexuality, and when she finally does, the same thing happens to her about Ross not being accepted of his sexuality, and Monica and Chandler essentially end up adopting Emma as well. Flash forward Thanksgiving 2027. It's been 5 years since we lost my beloved Chandler. Things do not get any easier without him. We went with Ben Trevor. I went with Ben, Trevor, and the kids to go to Chandler's grave before we had Thanksgiving dinner. Ben squeezed my hand gently. I really miss him, Auntie Monica. It's been so hard. I kissed his forehead. I know. Nothing has been the same without him. How are the kids handling it? Ben shrugged. I am not really sure they fully understand what happened to Uncle Chandler. I would not be surprised if they ask you questions when we get back to the house. Have you thought about selling the house, Auntie Monica? I loved how my nephew can practically read my mind, and I gently squeezed his hand. Yes, I have. Since Uncle Chandler died, it has been really hard to live there alone. When are you moving? I am putting the house on the market after Christmas. There is an apartment complex across town, and there's an opening for a one-bedroom apartment. So it will be like the apartments above Central Park? I sighed. No, honey. To be honest, I don't want to live with a roommate, and that's why a one-bedroom apartment instead of a two-bedroom. Ben smiled. There is a one-bedroom condo in our complex that's opening up if you are interested. I kissed his forehead. That sounds perfect, sweetheart. That way, I can help you and Trevor raise the kids. Ben kissed my cheek gently. I love you so much, Auntie Monica. I love you too, my precious baby boy, I whispered. When we got back to the house, Ross and Rachel were waiting for us with Emma, her husband Aaron, and her 5-year-old daughter Samantha. Samantha wrapped her arms around my legs. Hi, Auntie Monica. Happy Thanksgiving. Hi, sweetheart. Happy Thanksgiving to you too. Samantha looked around. Why isn't Uncle Chandler here, Auntie Monica? Emma kissed her daughter's forehead. Honey, don't you remember we told you Uncle Chandler died a few years ago? I forgot. I'm sorry, Samantha whispered. I gave my niece a gentle squeeze and let out a heavy sigh. Come on, let's go sit on the couch. I think it is time to explain to you and your cousins what happened to Uncle Chandler. Allison, Chandler, and Samantha sat on the couch in the living room. I walked over to them. Why are you so sad, Grandma? Allison asked. I squeezed her hand. Grandpa Chandler held you in his arms at the hospital when we adopted you and your brother from Astrid. That was the first and last time that you and your brother saw him, sweetheart. Am I named after Grandpa? Tears gathered at the edges of my eyes. Yes, you are, honey. He named you after him so you could carry on his legacy. Wow, that's a lot to handle. Trevor patted his son's shoulder. Grandpa was such a great guy. He was a lot of fun and had a great sense of humor. Allison looked at me. Grandma Monica, how did Grandpa Chandler die? I sighed. He had a heart attack, baby girl. Rachel exhaled. It was discovered later on that drugs were in his system. It was ketamine, the medication he was on for his depression and anxiety. Ben looked at Rachel in shock. Wait a second. Are you saying he took medicine before Thanksgiving dinner that caused him to have the heart attack? Rachel put her arm around Ben gently and kissed his forehead. Yes, sweetheart, unfortunately. That makes me sad. Allison whispered. It makes all of us sad, sweetheart, Rachel replied. Did the depression drugs actually make him happier? Samantha asked. Emma and Aaron looked at Rachel and Ross in shock, not sure how to answer her. I sighed. Uncle Chandler was depressed for a long time, honey. For as long as Grandma, Grandpa, and I have known him. He was happy on the outside a lot of the time, but hurting deep inside. It made us very sad. Didn't he know that we loved him? Emma scooped her daughter up into her arms and kissed her forehead softly. Of course he did, honey. Then why was he hurting so much? It was because he was abandoned as a child and he was never able to completely find love. But what about you, Auntie Monica? He loved you, didn't he? Tears were starting to form at the edges of my eyes. Of course he did, honey. I loved him too, so very much. What ways can we remember Grandpa Chandler? Allison asked. I started to smile through my tears. He'd want us to tell funny jokes because he was always good at making people laugh. Mommy, can we learn more about drugs addiction so we can teach other people about it? Samantha asked. Emma kissed her daughter's forehead again. When you and your cousins get a little bit older, I think that would be a great idea. Uncle Chandler would really want us to help other people learn about drug addiction and alcoholism. Samantha nodded. Okay, Mommy, that sounds like a great idea. I love you, Grandma, Allison whispered. I scooped up my granddaughter into my arms. I love you too, baby girl. Why don't we start eating before things get cold? This Thanksgiving, I am even more grateful for my family than ever before. So with that, I am ending posting fan fictions about Friends and writing fan fictions about Friends because I am using this new year to recalibrate my writing focus on other projects such as my children's book manuscript and new projects that are yet to be determined. Happy New Year, everybody.